I feel like you'll end up saying that on the stream as well. Well, I'm the only one here, so. Is there any cover there?
There was, but rain was having it up and up. Which doesn't usually happen.
Yeah, no, that happened to me. Yeah.
You've been doing this stuff for Sportscast for a while now, or?
Yeah. That's my third season.
Nice. No, first year commentating, so still a little bit fresh, but no, we love it, man. We have a good time. I don't get tired of my own voice, which is all right. I know some people might get tired of my voice, but I feel sorry for them, you know. Yeah, little one. Question is, Good evening and welcome, NPL fans, to round 21 action. A night where the football becomes secondary to the Autism Cup, in which both the Altona Magic and Avondale will be competing for. Quite the collaborative effort from both clubs, shining a light upon autism and how it might constrain those in whom have it. So the football definitely secondary this evening. The fundraising event has been hosted by Beyond the Boundary in conjunction with both clubs, all raising awareness and support for autism inclusion and support services. It's been quite the turnout at Paisley Park for the festivities today. Both clubs coming together and showcasing some really fine community efforts. My name is Adam Palombi. I'm providing commentary this evening from the Gantry. We're deep into the NPL season, with Avondale certainly at the top end of it. The visitors truly involved, as they have been for some time now, at the business end of the table. As for the Magic, although they reside in 10th place, there's certainly still, you could say, the chance for them to feature in the finals. Of course, they do need to have some results go their way. Any form of result here tonight might begin that quest. So we provide the lineups for the away side. Thomas Manos is the man in goal. Ite Towns, the captain, in fullback this evening. The centre-back partnership of both Carpenter and Kamara. New signing from the Port Melbourne Sharks, their former captain Edwards is at left back. Cuba, Trojevski and Kerr dominate the centre of the park, with Courtney Perkins, George Ott and Stefan Zini leading the line. Of course, Courtney Perkins also making the travel across from Port Melbourne. As for the hosts, their captain, Christian Rossi, is in goal. They've gone the back four with Libretto in the right back position. Unusual number 7 to be featured there. O'Driscoll in the back line along with Alexander Gust. Delidis completing that centre-back partnership. Further up the pitch, you've got Fabrizio in the engine room with Lawless, McCoucher and El Howley. The shape somewhat differentiates as the players get into their defensive position. Leading the line, Stasi, Anastovsky alongside Bourjauch. Lawless looks like he'll accumulate that sort of playmaker role as he has for the majority of the season. McCashran, Liberto also amongst the engine room as Towns, the captain, tries to clear. Compact space, McCoucher pressing. No sign of Eden Bryce this evening for Avondale. There's Christian Rossi, look to use the full length of his box. First time this evening's really been caught into action, and you hope that's an indication of what's to come. He's kicked the ball right out of play. Kamara happy to move it out wide to Towns. It's a inboard. Courtney Perkins couldn't seem to get moving the way he wants to, and so Towns thought he might have had a foul, but progressing forward. The hosts for a brief moment there with Fabrizio. Rather dry conditions this evening in Altona. Currently sitting at 10 degrees. Haven't really had much rain in the past couple of days across Melbourne. So as for the playing surface, it's not really have any infiltration upon the contest. As Cuba makes Ott work for it. Here's Edwards. Tries playing an incisive pass, and yet again Christian Rossi happy to come out and claim. It's been somewhat a mass exodus at Port Melbourne. They've had a few players up and leave the club. Lucas Burns and Emmanuel Peters amongst those in whom have, and a massive defensive mistake had occurred between the keeper and Uday Towns. The whistle had sounded. What's occurred here exactly, we're not sure. There might have been something in the build-up. Avondale have called, or the man in charge rather, has called for the Avondale physiotherapist to come have a look at Thomas Manos, who had somewhat got in the way. Allowed for Fabrizio to simply stroll on in. Manos is back up on his feet, but what exactly has gone on there? So perhaps a little warning sign just sounding early. They can't tend to make any mistakes in their back half, Avondale. The hosts, especially at their home territory, will look to make them pay. It's long below the top. It's not going to reach its target now. Cuba will get in the way and keep things moving, sliding on the deck. Was Fabrizio, who thought he might have had an opening goal. McCoucher clears momentarily. Now for Carpenter to get a ball forward. Edwards' cross is blocked. Kerr won't let any grounds. Custard done well. That's a really tricky pass. Manos had to get there before Gauch had. Nice start to the contest early on. As Kamara wants to command his space, finds Towns with the armband. Kerr. Fronted by McCoucher, looks to go around Gus, who bounces back off McCoucher. The two interplay between each other. It's Kerr, fine touch, nearly unlocking. Cuba out of Chian. Anastovsky caught in possession by Kerr. Avondale now want to venture forward yet again. They've got such intent when they come forward. Edwards overlapping. He'll receive. Ott in the centre. Low ball towards Cuba. Clearance had to be made. Courtney Perkins looking to cut in. Gust has his work cut out for him this evening. And so far, he's getting the better of the man making his debut. Towns, you can hear Kamara wanted possession back. Kerr happy to now utilise the calls of Kamara. And quite the topsy-turvy season for the hosts. 7 wins, 3 draws and 10 losses after 20 games played. They've had some results go their way, which give them quite the argument to storm home the remainder of the season. Perhaps could say it's kick-started last week against the Port Melbourne Sharks. And that 1-0 victory at home. As Gust has to backtrack. Having to use his keeper of Rossi. Lawless couldn't trap. And now Kerr. Ott's done well to find him. Courtney Perkins couldn't get the cross away, but he will settle for a corner.
Let's go, come on. Good boy. Keep him tight out here. Khalid, you can push on. Dan, you look after the left half. Khalid will look after the right half.
Can the visitors conjure up? And quite start to this contest. They've gone short from the corner. Kurba. Now Kamara. Happy to shift to Edwards. They still remain in the box. Edwards towards the back post. Rossi does superbly well. And releases Anastovsky. He's gone over the top towards Gauch. It's a fine ball. Edwards equal to that threatening pass. His deft touch just alleviates that pressure for the meantime. As Lawless keeps possession alive for Altona in their attacking half. Gusts back to Makausha. Liberto back to Makausha. Just couldn't be the same wavelength there as Gust. Still remains in that same region. Towns down the line. Ott flicking on with his head. Gust just keeping the ball momentarily away. And Courtney Perkins. It's quite the individual battle between those two to unfold this evening. Perkins back to Towns. Kamara happy to use his keeper. Who distributes finally towards Edwards, who takes it in his stride. Ott causing O'Driscoll some issues up ahead. Avondale happy to just settle into territory. Get an upper hand on that retrospect. And carve out that moment when they flick the switch and head forward. That might have been the intention there from Towns. These sides had met at Avenger Park in round 8. Avondale had stormed home to a 4-0 victory. Anastovsky stepping inside. Fabrizio. Breto to Makausha. Lawless. Looks to break the lines. Went for a low cross in. Kamara had to plant his feet to prevent that to be forthcoming. Krzyzewski had made his return following a leg injury against Hume City only 3 rounds ago, off the bench. Lively early on as Courtney Perkins, edge of the box, crosses towards the back post. Krzyzewski, it's bounced off his shoulder, says the official. Carpenter trying to play that piercing ball to break the lines yet again. The bobbling out of play. Oh, it's intriguing, the transfer window across Victoria. Sure, most are aware of the signing Lee Broxham made at St Albans. They're taking Heidelberg tomorrow at 3 p.m. The Victory custodian, now with a new experience with Dynamo, and who are in a relegation scrap in their own right. Altona will be happy that they're quite insulated from that position on the table. But yet another corner for Avondale. Starting to ask questions. Fine delivery towards the back post, which wasn't much lumber for them there. It was Ute Towns who was in that position. Of course, they do look rather chopped, if you will, this evening. Their real height options only in Jackson, Courtney Perkins, Austin Kamara. Otherwise, it's not exactly the tallest side you've seen. And they make up for height in terms of how technically adept and crafty they all are. La Familia. You remain an ominous presence across the competition. Seem to just make things work when it matters. As Kilbutt looking to make things work here, he goes down. Play continues. As Edwards delivers. Kerr. Turning beyond Fabrizio. Not getting past. Gust. Only 4 points away from South Melbourne are the visitors this evening. 3 points clear of Oakley. 5 points clear of Heidelberg in 4th place. It feels as if a few results, these last few rounds of the competition. Any slip up in form from South Melbourne, Avondale will firmly be on the back of. They're currently all over Altona. Have yet another set piece to defend. Christian Rossi has been imperative early on. Might be called into action yet again. As the cross gets flung in towards the near post. Kept alive as a scramble. It's an acrobatic clearance from McCoucher. But the flag has gone up. And Kerr is in the traditional Yusuf Ahmed number 11 shirt this evening. Ahmed not named on the bench. He was in attendance prior to the game starting with the Avondale player's jacket on. It's Christian Rossi just telling his side to push up. As his ball forward was just too much for Gus to get something onto. O'Driscoll tries to go around Cuba. Recycles momentarily. And Ostovsky was amongst it. Lawless gets a foot on it. And a very skewed pass is going to work for Avondale. Unconventional. I'm sure it's not what was intended by Carpenter. But he won't exactly mind, as that might have been following in that same sort of suit. And Ostovsky was certainly onto it, but Manos was just ahead of the poacher for the Magic. Archie Thompson was in attendance here at Paisley Park this afternoon. It's quite the fundraising event which had occurred. The players walking out with earmuffs just to symbolise the sensitivity incurred by those with autism. Having spoken to many club officials on both sides, are adamant that football on this occasion is secondary to the greater cause that is of support and awareness. Gus was trying to search for a run forward, and that's where they seem to falter the hosts. They can't pick out a player in a more advanced position. Haven't seen many touches yet from their talisman of Bull Gauch. But Makausha takes over. That was a fine idea, which Kamara was equal to. Avondale look to transition. Cuba running its team has Courtney Perkins to his left. Cuba goes solo. Look to run at full steam ahead as Ott flicks a header on. Flag hasn't gone up for Courtney Perkins. Looking to make some sort of impact upon his debut. Lawless stepping ahead of Trajewski. Gauch couldn't trap the ball the way he intended. Trajewski makes it work to Edwards, who's having some involvement also on his debut. Altona happy to sit back and just drop back for the meantime. Avondale happy to play in that compact space. A flick on from Zini unlocks Edwards. Yet another corner. Tense calm surrounding the Magic fans in attendance. It feels as if something's imminent from the visitors. They've certainly asked questions early on. And they're unrelenting when they begin to knock at the door. They don't simply knock. They break in at all means necessary. Ball's crossed in to the near posts. Ott acknowledges the idea. Rossi not exactly in a prime position there for a clearance. It was such a narrow ball in. Just can't seem to ignite in the engine room. Gauch the target, flicks it on. Makausha gets the ball forward for Anastovsky. Gauch takes over, can't get round Kamara. Vital intervention had to be made as Manos really makes Courtney Perkins keep that ball alive, which he does so well. Lawless's touch a bit fruitless. It's Perkins. Gust spins away from Cuba. Nathan Liberto. Delides. Liberto receiving, going back to the keeper, and now finally what appears to be a spell on possession for the hosts. It was nearly on the receiving end of the commentator's curse. Shifting gears momentarily was Fabrizio. Comments from Mohammed El Halwi, courtesy of the Altona Magic Instagram. Saturday night will be a special night, having a game dedicated to autism awareness, showing support on and off the field. Hopefully it can be topped off with a cup win and 3 points. Last week at Paisley Park, it was a commemoration of some Altona Magic legends coming together. Sash Vinovsky and Johnny Stachevsky uniting to commemorate 200 appearances for Stachevsky in Altona colours. Perhaps lacking a little bit of firepower, Jawad Rezai had moved on. He now resides with Preston in VPL 1. Meanwhile, another winger looking to make an impression is Courtney Perkins, who got round Gust on that occasion, but couldn't get round O'Driscoll. Yet another corner. Building up very quickly.
Everyone, keep the chin up.
Crowd Christian Rossi, who nervously awaits this delivery. Ball's whipped in, got shape on it. Rossi had to punch away. Kerr recycled momentarily to Carpenter, with the flag going up. Patrick Hogan, yet another signing for Avondale, who have been busy in this transfer window. He is on the bench. So you wonder if he'll make his maiden debut for La Familia as this game goes on. Let's see what the hosts the visitors rather opt to utilise in terms of their bench. So the Magic just need to regain some composure. They haven't had much of possession to speak of, but perhaps chance to counter. Edwards dispositioned, with Lawless overlapping. He wanted to receive, couldn't really trap. Skaush has come a bit more central. Anastovsky residing now on the left to shake it up a little bit. So Driscoll, cushion header for Gust, whose pass is going to reach to Leedies, who had to stretch. Courtney Perkins pressing rather firmly Liberto happy to go back to Delides. Anastovsky had a glance up at goal, thought about trying his luck, and has only hit someone's headlight. Kamara on pass for Ross. The Kiwi just couldn't get there ahead of O'Driscoll, who's firmly up behind him. Roberto, Gus, that's heavy. Towns will send forward. And Ott will latch onto it. He's made a real task of getting there, and now Kerr has a gleaming chance. He skips around his marker. And somehow Avondale have not found their opener, which they've been fully deserving of. Kerr usually a fully composed player in those scenarios. He had Zini on for the pass also. You might have heard the call from Manos. Perhaps that was selfish from Kerr. They'll have to settle for a corner, but La Familia were agonisingly close there. Perhaps a warning sign in which needs to be received by the host, as that ball's not going to reach nobody. They can be let off the hook for the meantime. George Ott was rampant to keep possession and have a chance. Just heading the ball away from O'Driscoll to have that chance forthcoming. Kerr perhaps had too much time. Make the argument that sometimes attackers don't have enough time. Well, he's certainly trying to be a bit too fancy. Much to the elation of the hosts, who have a free kick just over the halfway line, which McCasher takes quickly. O'Driscoll. Gaush looking to get involved. Happy to recycle with Gus. You can hear Rossi calling for calm. He wants the ball back within his jurisdiction. As Roberto does well to keep his feet. McCasher absorbing the plate, does well to keep it away from Kerr, but doesn't find a teammate with that pass. O'Driscoll searching long. Reach Fabrizio, who's isolated. Nice back heel cross, rather tame. They keep it alive. Liberto running at the defence. Deft touch will keep it away from Manos, with Carpenter just getting in the way of the ever-creative Nathan Liberto. Edwards sliding to keep Fabrizio at bay. Short throw. Fabrizio tries to go around Edwards, cross towards Gaush. Gusts with Anastovsky. Gaush trying to get round Towns. Packed in the corner. Gets it onto his left. He's in behind Towns. He crosses in, and Edwards clears off the line. Liberto. It's a scramble on the goal line, but it's been bundled home for Altona Magic. The Desig shoes on display. Liberto carved out the initial chance, in which Manos couldn't grab. And it's Fabrizio who does. It's the Magic who take the lead. And Avondale weren't exactly deserving of that. They had started the game positively. But the Magic are loving that. They've hit the front. And Bulgaush hadn't exactly come to life in the contest. The moment he had was the moment the hosts had found their opener. Caused all the headaches for Yite Towns, who had to be cautious. He didn't exactly lunge at Gaush, who got him beyond him in the box. Edwards was miraculous in denying Anastovsky's chance, which was going in. That was goal bound. It's quite the goal line clearance in truth. But upon the scramble, it's Fabrizio. That's a great ball in behind for Gaush. The flag has stayed down. Kamara getting across and earning possession firmly but truly. As Carpenter finds Courtney Perkins. You expect a prompt response from La Familia. Gusts. It's been an intriguing individual battle. We're going to keep a close eye on it. It's going to tick for tack, really. And it ventures down the right wing. Both counterpart fullback and winger adamant to concede much ground to each other. It's a long ball forward, not going to be very fruitful. Seen that from both sides early on. Anastovsky just keeping Kamara honest in his defensive half. Looking to lock in now possession Altona. McCausher. Driscoll. Back to McCausher. Loves to orchestrate this Magic side. It's a long ball towards Gaush. Towns had to plant his feet. Liberto's come a long way. He's been called to hit it. Gaush and Towns. Corner awarded. The captain for Avondale having a little protest, which falls on the deaf ears of the official. Ball crossed in. And it's lucky not to break someone's windshield on that occasion. So the Magic down to corner of their own. McCaush's delivery towards the near post, not exactly dealt with. Hard in mouth moment yet again for Thomas Manos. Each time the ball has entered the box, full intent from the Magic. Yeah. La Familia just seemed to be a little bit panicky. It's an undercooked pass. Tomczejewski couldn't find Courtney Perkins. McCausher had got his toe in the way. Carpenter. Kerr. Edwards. Zini hasn't had much involvement in his own right. Cuba. Kamara. Towns is pressured by Gauch, which made him go back towards Kamara. Trajevski. Stepping beyond Anastovsky. Towns gets around Gauch. Went the reverse option towards Courtney Perkins. Gust equal to the measure. Anastovsky spinning. And releasing towards Lawless. Carpenter going to get there. And found Cuba. Edwards. Closing in on half-time. The Magic is certainly enjoying this one-goal lead. As Kerr spins and finds Zini. That's a great ball to release him. Here is Stefan Zini. Had the ball caught behind him. Courtesy of that intervention. Hope you're keeping tallies on the corners. We've had abundance of them. Cuba with the task yet again. Magic looking to enter half-time with a lead. They have to defend it following this corner. Ball swung in with real shape. Rossi gets a palm on it. It's going to sit towards Trajevski, who gets his shot away. It was a low effort as Gust has it ricochet towards him. And now he's off to the races. Gauch ahead of him. Acknowledged the pass from Gust, and now Gauch can't get the cross in. Has that hit a hand? They're protesting fiercely. The arm was in a natural position. They might have been let off the hook there. Each time Gauch is in possession, there's such a tangible feel about what he can do. As he's pressed on Trajevski there. He's lucky to trap the ball, but couldn't stretch to keep it with Towns as Courtney Perkins. Couldn't find Kerr. Liberto stumbling and earns the foul. Second time of asking. Another set piece for the Magic. Had a few stoppages in this first half. Pass to Makausha. He's just so cool and calm in possession. Player in which every team needs as that ball from El Hawley was crossed in. Carpenter heads away. Kerr spinning past Liberto. Play will resonate with Trajevski, who finds Cuba. Zini ahead of him. Edwards overlapping also. Zini trying to carve out room for a chance. El Haloui with some pressure as Kerr, edge of the area. Running at defenders. Lawless gets some much needed foot in. Trajevski, here's Towns. Kerr back up on his feet. Towns stepping in. Shot coming off Courtney Perkins. Cuba or Driscoll firmly involved. The big centre back just hits the deck as the poacher Anastovsky's come deep to retain possession. Chops inside. Spreads wide to Makausha. Gust overlapping, acknowledged by Makausha. Had to really stretch to keep it in. And that play will go a begging. Cuba wants to go long. And Rossi will use his head to keep it away from Ott. Driscoll over the top. Flag is going to go up. on the goal scorer Fabrizio. He's never going to reach that pass. He's backtracking Edwards fiercely. Zini not able to turn from El Haloui, who's given away a foul and potentially a card. That has been awarded to Mohamed El Haloui, who goes in the book. It's the first time we've seen the cheese this evening. The referee certainly noticed that it was a chance opening up. That with tangibility, hence the intent, was met with a yellow card. Not too far away from half-time. A couple of question marks surrounding how much added time we might have. As Carpenter's low effort's going to sit for Cuba, who finds Zini. Flag stays down. Cuba in behind towards Kerr, who goes down in the box. And El Haloui is happy to clear. Fabrizio flicking to his advantage momentarily. Carpenter back out wide to Edwards. Cuba, advanced position. Edwards' cross taking a deflection on its way in. Yet another corner. Ball crossed in. Ott making his presence felt. Another chance for a crossing opportunity. O'Driscoll heads away. 1 minute of stoppage time to be forthcoming. Perhaps a bit shallow, as that effort was quite the opposite from Carpenter. Felt as if there would have been a little bit more time, considering the stoppages we have had in this first half. So far in the Autism Cup, it's the Magic who have the upper hand. Avondale have many qualms to have hit the front in their own right. They haven't exactly done so. They've had the opposite, in fact, occur to them. So the full onus on the second place side to come out roaring in the second half. They might have one last chance in the first. There's Towns. Courtney Perkins. It's cute from Kerr to compact the space. Anastovsky pressing upon Kamara. Gusts. Kerr's done well, getting around 3 shirts to allow Towns to make some ventures. So Driscoll just happy to roll on to the ball. And that's going to be the first half all concluded. Half-time called at Paisley Park in the Autism Cup round 21 fixture, with the Magic leading by a goal courtesy of Fabrizio. Avondale, as aforementioned, have had multiple chances, which they have all gone a-begging. As we cross to the half-time break, the second half to be coming up shortly. We're back underway for the second half of the Autism Cup in round 21 here at Paisley Park. The Daniel Fabrizio goal, the sole difference at the moment. As you feel as if the Avengers are really going to prepare for a kitchen sink throwing second half. As Liberto shifts out wide, the teams remain unchanged in this second half. Gauch, lively early on. Towns has had the task of containing Paul Gauch and his trickery. As the pass towards Delides, perhaps a bit undercooked. Kerr making it a bit of a task, which the centre-back, for the meantime, has successfully completed. Searching ball forward. Kamara command the space. Ott will flick it on towards Kerr. The ladies will kick it towards the canteen. Nice tempo to this contest. It has gone rather quick. We've brief discussion in that half-time break we had between myself and the man in production. It's rather gone quickly so far. The football hasn't been stagnant. Both sides have moved forward with intent. Hasn't really been lulls of dry spells. Although only one goal has been scored, it certainly has had a nice tempo to the game. As Lawless nearly might have had half a sniff. Carpenter and Kausha intervening from Towns. So it looks like Lawless remains on the deck. Avondale will continue the move. Courtney Perkins. Ott in the box. The cutback might have been there, but O'Driscoll was in the right position. So now the referee finally attends to Stephen Lawless, who is back up on his feet. Perhaps worse for wear following that little midfield intervention he just had. Much like the first half, we're well into time with corners, and it hasn't taken long for Avondale to have their first of this second half. Ott at the near post. That's where the ball's been crossed in towards Kerr. Try to flick. Zini gets it back out towards Kyorba, who crosses. Trajewski flicking touch. Kausha providing that pressure. Edwards skipping beyond Fabrizio. Incisive pass to Kerr. Kyorba bounces off his mid section. Zini won't cross because O'Driscoll's in the way, but Kyorba will stroll across to the corner on commentary side for yet another delivery via the dead ball. Cool conditions certainly immersing those on the playing surface and watching in the stands as Edwards couldn't get there ahead of Gauch, who flung a foot at it to clear momentarily. Kyorba going to recycle it back in. As a counter-attacking chance opens up, Liberto's pass will unlock Anastovsky. Avondale back in numbers. Gust. Kausha does well to find Liberto. He wanted to continue the move, but Saad Kausha, the second Altona player in the second half to just be gingerly and getting back up on their feet. Lawless also attending to his own little issue that he recently experienced. Kausha back up on his feet. So Driscoll tries a lofting pass in which Courtney Perkins intervenes with and gets it back from Towns. Firm but fair from Fabrizio. They wanted to find Lawless. Trajewski. Fine positioning. That pass not so fine. And Rossi could call him the keeper sweeper. Loves using the full length of his box. As Towns, Kamara, momentarily slip up. Regained his feet in time to find Manos. Ott got in the way momentarily. Flag might have gone up on George Ott. He's been causing O'Driscoll some issue this evening. Both evenly matched in terms of size. Yeah, another individual matchup we're keeping a close eye on. So Driscoll's ventured forward. Continued his press until centre half realised his natural habitat was way far back from where he came from. It's Cuba. Finds Edwards. Goes over the top towards Zinni. As Howley and Delides collided and allows for the chance to be forthcoming from Avondale, in which Chian Cuba never caught on properly. Defensive confusion on display from the Magic, which led for Zinni to just get that cross away. It was the positioning was correct from Cuba. The finish applied not so much. So work it very deep now, the Magic. And Haloui finding Gauche. Edwards getting a foot ahead of him. Ott back to Edwards. He's had a majority of possession in this game. His cross, well, his screaming frustration really sums it up. Not the delivery in which he was looking for. Perhaps a little frustrated. La Familia are starting to grow. Altona happy to play out the back. Anastovsky, little flick on, which Towns gets on the end of. As Fabrizio tried to keep things moving, Lawless will keep things out of play. Last week, La Familia had made the trip to Olympic Village to take on Heidelberg, a game in which was a stalemate, a 1-1 draw. They thought they had the game wrapped up. It was Sadiq James Nagor on his debut for Heidelberg, and whom equalised. Felt as if they might have had that one wrapped up. Back away from home. And with their backs up against the wall, you could argue. So venture forward yet again. El Halabi in the way and won't let that go out for a corner. Of course, at home in round 19 against Manningham United, it was a 5-1 win at Avenger Park. Definitely a fortress for Avondale. Anastovsky tries the acrobatic bicycle unlocking pass. Just before the seniors had started this evening, the Magic's under-23 side had knocked off Avondale by 2 goals to 0. Currently halfway there, if they're following the same suit of their reserve side, as Ott kept going, had the ball to Edwards. Chip pass towards Zini. Makasha happy to send the ball into the wilderness at the expense of a corner. Which prompts the referee to request the ball from the side where the club rooms are. Flung in by Cuba, near post. Courtney Perkins might have been there. Kerr back to Cuba. Lofted ball towards Ott at the back post. Carpenter was behind him, but Ott thought he'd taken it upon himself. As Delides just caught in the crosshairs of that attacking chance for Avondale, back up on his feet. Would have been El-Halawali rather. As Anastovsky lofted well off his chest towards Liberto. Kasha couldn't get onto it, the referee in the way. Going to be a drop ball, that's the call. Krzyzewski thought he might have got proceedings underway. Avondale back in possession. Play back underway. Towns, piercing pass towards Courtney Perkins. Gus getting a touch on it. Another corner. Avondale have certainly had an abundance of chances from a dead ball. And yet another chance. Whipped in with real shape this time. But eventually Rossi just unscathed in claiming. As I might have mentioned prior to the game starting, any form of result here for Altona would certainly give them the world of confidence trying to find that top 6 finish, and which eludes them. As Kerr finds Towns, more advanced on this occasion, gets beyond O'Driscoll, couldn't go beyond Makasha, who now acknowledges that Towns is out of position. Gauch wanted to receive him behind. Krzyzewski had backtracked for La Familia. That was the target from the throw. Gust has been sound this evening, cleaning things up for the Magic. It's Courtney Perkins yet again tonight, not being granted access beyond Gust. Anastovsky on the end of that loose pass. He's isolated, but he bears down on Marnus's goal and earns a corner. Instinctive from Darcy. Anastovsky certainly set sights for goal upon that shallow throw. Corner for the hosts. McCousher to whip it in. Ott back on defensive duties. Anastovsky crowds the near post. O'Driscoll lurking at the back with Gausch. Short corner the option. Gust has fine shape on the cross. Deledy's arriving. It's bouncing everywhere. It's going to be called the other way. There's multiple bodies on the deck from both clubs. Deledy's, dare I say, Ott, that's next to him. A little bit to unpack there, perhaps. Yellow card has been issued. To a Magic player. Dare I say, Fabrizio. That assumption being correct. So Fabrizio in the book. Deledy's back up on his feet. Ott wasn't caught in the crossfires on that occasion. Might have been Carpenter. Altona seemed to really make Avondale scramble at their scarce opportunities following a set piece. Whenever the ball has entered the box, there's certainly a real feeling that the Magic will conjure up something upon that attacking scenario. The referee on this occasion just preventing anything following that major collision. El Howley tries to go down the line towards Fabrizio. Trajewski moves it out wide towards Towns. Kamara. Carpenter. You ponder the usual centre-back partnership in which Kamara is involved in with Adam Bryce or Diargenio. Diargenio still nursing that injury concern from a few rounds back. Avondale have had quite injury, or chaos, you could argue, this season. They've took Zini until round 18 against Hume to return without some of their firepower. Meanwhile, Anastovsky tried to unlock the door for Gausch. This game starting to open up. Kerr wants to involve Zini. His pass will find him. Backpedaling was El Howley. Zini running at pace, trying to find the angle. He goes down and towards the referee, who crosses his arms to indicate play on. Liberto gets her beyond Kerr and tries to go in behind for Gausch. Towns understood the assignment. It was rather customary in the way he cleared things up. Trajewski breaking the lines. Lawless backpedaling. Carpenter judges the bounce well. Edwards trying to force a spread of players. Initially heading further up, his own possession. Kamara. "20 of the 22 players on the park all sat in Altona's defensive half. It's only Manos and Kamara who currently aren't for Avondale. All the Magic players on defensive duties. A substitution is to be forthcoming. And the Magic opting for a double change. Liberto making way. Ismail Haji replacing him. And there's Matias Gonzalez taking place for Al Halawi in that full-back position. There's Delides. Head of the way momentarily. There was a claim for a handball. Carpenter, fine searching pass. Gust will get there. So quite the task for the substitute. That of the right back for the Magic. Meanwhile, their left winger combines with Haji. Anastovsky, usually on the end of a cross, tried one of his own, which was, well, not very fruitful. As Edwards, that's a fine pass over the top, causing concern for Gonzalez. Here is Zini. Cross and face a goal. Ott had got his head in the way, you could say. Wasn't exactly what he was looking for. It was involuntarily, but nearly caught Christian Rossi off guard. As Kyoba couldn't trap on the second time of asking. Haji will claim it's his ball, which the referee grants. It's Avondale who are going to resort to their bench. And Stefan Zini, who's making way. In his place is Sebastian Vargas. A change of shape. Kerr claiming a more attacking role. Courtney Perkins now brought out onto the left. It's Kerr against Hume in round 18, who was well and truly involved. Drawn a penalty on the cusp of half-time, which was converted. Should eventuate in a 5-0 victory against the current 5th place side in the competition. Edwards. Ott flicking on towards Kyoba. Fine move from Avondale. Lawless. Thought he might have impeded Kyoba, who got back up on his feet and back underway. He's still going somehow, Chiang Kyoba. Towns beyond Haji. Carpenter back to Towns. Lumber in the box. Edwards delivers. It's a fine ball in. And Courtney Perkins a whisker away from the post. Finally crafted from La Familia. The two former Port Melbourne Sharks duo of Edwards and Courtney Perkins linking up. Unsure on how Nick Marinos would have felt about that combination. Seeing his former alumni combine in different colours. It's understood that they have quite the understanding of each other. Both the fullback and attacker. It's Courtney Perkins causing havoc. Now Ott using his physicality. Couldn't get the cross away. It's Gonzalez who gets himself in the position he needs to be in. Going. They take it quick this time, Avondale, trying to break the routine. Trajewski's cross was inwards. Kyoba stepping beyond Lawless, crossing in towards Kerr. Gauch might have put him off. It felt as if there's only 5 minutes left of the competition, given everyone except Manos are in the Altona defensive half. Avondale really asking questions now. Perkins, Kyoba would have been the deftest of touches, and Edwards would have backed him to really have something tangible on that attacking chance if he had found the pass. Delides taking the game upon himself. Haji, his numbers for Altona. It's a fine pass from the substitute to unleash Gauch. Lawless in the centre. Anastovsky on the edge of the box. Kerr on defensive duties. Gauch competing firmly. Spinning from Kerr. Anastovsky back towards Gauch. Lawless couldn't trap. It's quite the move from the Magic. They lacked it in that final little interval there. Now Courtney Perkins awaits the run of Ott. It's quite the move. Oh, Gauch is just such an intriguing player. So fluid the way in which they had combined. So again, that final moments where they lack that bit of composure. Well, Gauch has hit double digits. 4 goals this season. He's currently on 10 in 20 games. A much needed player for the Magic. Here he is yet again. Gets his pass away. Haji finds Anastovsky. Isolated. Haji making a forward run, which is acknowledged by Anastovsky. Out of that provocative pass. Towns. Kamara. Not much of this contest left really to play. There's silverware involved. Both clubs certainly have their fair share of silverware. Let's see. It ends up residing in Altona, the Autism Cup. 8 seconds left of play before stoppages. Certainly ample time for something intriguing to occur for both sides. Time for Avondale to come back and draw level with Altona to make it all but decisive. They have a deep throw in. Anastovsky. Makausha. Fine shape on the cross. Fabrizio was there, but it's hit his head. Kamara. Towns. Trying to find Kerr. Gust really stepping in and commanding. Haji. Fabrizio had Gauch on for the pass. Party tricks to get around Rajewski. Lawless steps in. He delivers. Carpenter in the way. Gauch certainly in the position he had to be in. Delides keeps it away from Ott. Size discrepancy between the centre back and centre half. Ott, edge of the area with Delides, who slides. He backed himself there, the centre back. Yet again, Well, there's no point really discussing that much anymore. Yeah, they've had abundance of them. As Cuba tries a chip approach. Out comes Rossi. Carpenter and Gauch. Trajewski keeps play alive. Players at the back post. Courtney Perkins takes a touch and sets fly. It had real shape upon that curling effort. Rossi helpless as the ball just went over his crossbar. Avondale have been asking questions since the start of this contest. Yet to find the answers. As Carpenter lofts to get away from Haji. Oh, with a fine flick on. Followed home by one of his own from Chiang Cuba. They're getting crafty now, Avondale. They realise that it's going to take something special to unlock this tightly contrapped Altona defence. Haji couldn't trap it. Towns. Trajewski. Now it's Kerr. Straight at the keeper. A gleaming chance for Kerr to correct the mistake in which he made in the first half. The build-up was faultless. The finish, not so much. And somehow they have not drawn level yet. La Familia. They've been building for some time. That was some chance. Converted by a player who is in form. It's Makausha. Does well to find Haji. Who you can see from the action of Paul Gauch was at the back post and he wasn't exactly content with Ismail Haji. He wanted to go solo. Carpenter, Edwards pushing forward, as was Courtney Perkins. Haji flicks on towards Fabrizio. Sole scorer in this contest. Deep pass for Haji. He's having some influence since entering off the bench. Towns spinning, not to keep going. The official draws it back for a foul. Trains are coming and going in the background, as is time in this game. I feel like there might be yet another change to be forthcoming. Lawless cutting off that pass intended for Trajewski. Haji onto Lawless. Anastovsky ahead of Stefan. So is Gauch. Takes a heavy touch. Roof still remains alive for Altona. Paul Gauch just caught in possession. Gus to rekindle. Isolated. Kerr takes over. Wants to run at steam. Leaves Gust in the wind. Play gets called back. Avondale activate. Another substitute. And it might just be the man making his debut, Patrick Hogan. Replaces George Ott. Courtney Perkins will accumulate that forward central position, with Patrick Hogan now on the left. Manos claims it all the way back to his goal. Ball forward towards Trajewski. Kerr steps beyond Lawless. Body feints, plays it to his right. They go down in the box. Fine challenge from Gust. A nice little build-up and atmosphere around the pitch this evening, courtesy of those in attendance. Cash might have had his arm in an unnatural position. Want to take quickly, Avondale. They certainly want to salvage something from this contest. Starting to run out of that patience. Edwards searching for Kerr. Deletes steps in, sends forward. Carpenter back to Towns. Akausha lofting it forward. Manos will get there. And now Lawless, keeper's off his line. Lawless has gone for goal. Rightfully so, you could argue. Manos would not be caught off guard. Slipped upon that initial pass, which was cut off by Lawless. You can see him enjoying an opportunity that had arisen for him. Which doesn't usually occur for footballers. It's one of their wildest dreams to convert from just inside their own half. Your mind casts back to that Terry Antonis effort. Melbourne City, meanwhile, it's Patrick Hogan in behind for Avondale. Christian Rossi had to stand tall. The captain leading by example. Denying the debutant of that illustrious moment. He's back in possession following the corner. Steps beyond his marker. Low cross in, which Gonzalez intervenes with for the meantime. It's got to be well into double digits now, the corner tally. Cuba might as well have had a training session in deliveries this evening. He's tried different approaches each time. That's a chipping effort. O'Driscoll heads away. Fabrizio's isolated. But he's done well to take the game on. He has Gauch ahead of him. And the pass is not going to find him, but he done supremely well, the goal scorer. Gauch, you feel, would have been off to the races having he found the pass required. Kamara. Carpenter. Edwards wants possession. He's been orchestrating from his left-back position this evening. Been rather influential on his side of the pitch. Trying to make that fine first impression. Towns. Edwards. Searching forward, waiting for that lumber to arrive at the back post. It's low cross in. Edwards will have a second chance to cross. The same result, forthcoming. Deletes not once but twice clearing. What's the terminology for another corner that I'm in desperate search of trying to find? As Avondale have not unrelented with their desperity and trying to find an equaliser. Cuba's chipping pass, not dealt with. And yet again, another chance. It was Carpenter who threw a boot at it. It hadn't cleared the corner flag almost. It nearly skewed out of play for a deep throw-in. It swung away from Carpenter. That chipping pass from Chiang Cuba, so evasive. That's what he's opted to use within his corner routine. Towns lofts. Now Trajewski running at O'Driscoll, gets beyond him. And a huge chance now, it's Courtney Perkins for Avondale. And they're having chances in abundance, but La Familia just can't seem to take them. And you back Courtney Perkins from that range. Perhaps he might have taken his eye off it. Christian Rossi has made a couple of saves. He hasn't exactly been called upon for a goal-saving opportunity. Majority of the efforts that have been flung towards him have ventured well and truly over the bar. The referee stamping his authority. It was not a handball, despite it hitting the arm of Ite Towns. Kamara, fine pass. Here is Kerr. Driscoll came across. Yeah. Gonna go beyond Carpenter. He fouls Gauch. Driscoll will launch towards Anastovsky. Haji might have also been there. Manos taking no time and launches it right into his own bench. That might indicate the night at which Avondale have experienced. We know they like to leave it late. Only a few rounds ago in which it was George Mells. The last kick of the game had equalised for La Familia. He might be staring down the barrel of something in the similar nature in this contest. Much to the credit of the Magic defence, have certainly held their ground as Kerr chip pass. It was flicked on by Cure, but Trajewski running in towards it. But the captain Rossi reads it well.
Keep pushing now, bro.
Keep playing, yeah.
Get them going.
Trajewski back up on his feet. Time really becoming an issue now. If you are supporting La Familia, can't go quicker. If you're supporting Avondale, if you're a Magic fan, it couldn't go slower. They're on the precipice of their 8th win this season. What a result it would be to knock off second place. It's Kamara. O'Driscoll got in the way. McCousher came across. Courtney Perkins. Crossing opportunity forthcoming. Stepping inside, but not going around Lawless. Now a chance over the top. Gauch has the pace, and he's on to this. Anastovsky in support. Carpenter, the last line of the fence, had to be tall and strong. 4 minutes of added time, rumoured to be the verdict. There was a massive chance for Altona to say goodnight, Irene. It just felt as if Gauch had to find the feet of Anastovsky. Instead he tried to find him on his head. They do have a corner in which McCouch is going to take his time in getting across towards. The verdict is 4 minutes. It's all to be confirmed by the board. Altona not far away from a statement victory in the Autism Cup. Collaboration between the two clubs as that ball's flung in. Lawless, on the edge of the area, recycles. O'Driscoll's in the box. Ball flung in, Kamara clears. Lawless has a ball to win. Kamara heads away. Hogan heads on towards Kerr. Haji on defensive duties. Does supremely well to find Fabrizio. Goes through the gates of Kerr. But not through Carpenter. Hogan on to Kerr. Avondale with numbers. Curba wants to get his shot away. Confronted by Gonzalez and Haji. Chipped in towards Towns. O'Driscoll heads away and then cleared away by McCousher. Desperation off the charts. As that's going to be Altona's ball. A very inconvenient miscue. The Magic don't exactly need to get play resumed. They're looking to bleed the clock at all expense. What a result this will be. Anastovsky. Towns wants to go quickly. Time is precious. Towns gets it back. McCousher in the way. Altona will have the throw. And they'll activate a late substitute as well. Anastovsky has been creative in attack. That's his night wrapped up. Filip Yasevsky to take his place. Cheers from the Magic supporters to blow the whistle. Not far away at all from what's going to be a major result. Towns, Kamara, you feel as if they have to go now, Avondale. They have no choice. Searching ball forwards, only going to find McCousher. He's got Yasevsky ahead of him. He moves it out wide. Gauch closing in on Manos. Options queuing up. Still going is Gauch. Kamara gets in the way somehow. Edwards not being able to clear. Big sliding tackle from Haji. Manos desperate to get this one underway. Pass forwards, going to bobble but not get there. The clearance from Delides was a bit rushed. Fabrizio wants to absorb the clock. Edwards thought he was ahead of Fabrizio. He's been told to go to the corner. Edwards draws the foul. The Magic really been made to work for it now. Avondale still might have one more chance. Courtney Perkins can't go back. Towns. Carpenter, glance upon the watch from the referee. Hogan. Can't go around Fabrizio. The double team upon him. Edwards sends it forward. Chip pass towards Cuba. Throw in forthcoming. Edwards quick onto Hogan. Kerr, edge of the box. Cuba's crossed towards the back post. Courtney Perkins. Vargas has that hit a hand. Then pointed to the spot. Late driver at Paisley Park. Penalty awarded in what has to be the final knockings of the contest. You felt as if there was going to be late drama, and it's unfolding before our eyes. 4 minutes of additional time might have been up, and Avondale with Blake Carpenter have a chance from the spot to salvage a point in which all looked improbable. Christian Rossi, the captain, with the obligation to keep the 3 points for his side. Carpenter against Rossi. And it's denied! And the follow-up also denied! Christian Rossi stands up and take a bow! You have earned Altona Magic the 3 points in what is a dramatic end to a fantastic game of football. Rossi sends his ball into the crowd, in which he runs towards with an knee slide. Captain Courageous, Christian Rossi, wins the game for the Altona Magic, who required all of that magic to have the 3 points remain at Paisley Park. What a culmination to the contest. It's their 8th win of the season in some circumstances. As we draw to a close, it's full time. Altona Magic 1, Avondale 0. What a contest of football. You felt as if there was going to be something laid on. The penalty was awarded, much to the discretion of those on the Magic bench. The match official just awarding a few cards in light of those unsavoury comments. That's going to wrap up our coverage of round 21 here at Paisley Park. I've been Adam Palombi. It's been a pleasure to call this match. And until next time, we're providing you some more NPL Victoria future fixtures in rounds to come. Thank you and good night.
What do you say? Yeah, I didn't hear much, bro. I just, when he started walking over, I'm just like, make it.